Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MIT 806 final. I'm Kelby Parton, and let's get this show started if I can figure out how to start my slideshow. So, our final, my assignment, I'm going to have my students do shop safety videos. They'll be 11th and 12th grade students that have taken me at least 3 different times, so 3 different courses, my intro course, an intermediate course, and an advanced level course. They could be 4th level kids too, or independent studies. But so what these videos would be used for is I make some to show my freshmen and my 8th graders every year when I go over my safety rules, and this gives it kind of a change of a pace to where they're not just watching me in real life and then on a video. Now they can see, some of their older peers explaining to them the importance of the safety and some of the safety rules on each machine. And it also gives, more of a sense of importance in the classroom to some of those upperclassmen to show the freshmen and 8th graders the correct way to do things. For the modeling aspect, I'd begin by explaining to my students what they'll be doing, go over the safety rules with those students like I would in general. I have to cover my bases, dot my I's, cross my T's, just part of being a shop teacher, and then show the students the safety videos that I've made, which they've seen before, but just a refresher. Then integrating, when I was going over integrating, it's kind of tough. It's a lot easier in a bigger district to think of the integrating when you have people to partner with, but usually in my small district, I just try to find CTE teachers, whether that's our FCS, ag, or our graphic design teacher. They're kind of who I bounce ideas off of, or when I really need some collaboration time about some shop stuff, I'll reach out to teachers in other districts that I know, or generally my mentor from when I did my student teaching. They're usually a lot of help in integrating things if I take things from their classroom, or we even sometimes collaborate where their seniors' videos will be what we use in mine. I think that would be pretty neat. The releasing responsibility to the kids. So I am working with my upperclassmen that I've worked with their entire education. I've had them multiple times, so they're the students that I really trust being in there for the most part. I'd release responsibility to them once they pass their safety test, so they can't do anything in either of my classes, welding, woodshop, construction, without passing a safety test. And once they get that covered, they've taken that test 4 to 5 times already, then I pretty much grant them responsibility immediately. They've been here, done that, and they're ready to get out in the shop and get to working. The reason I have to do that also for this project would be safety is one of the first things we go over with my 8th graders and my freshmen in my intro classes, and so I would like to have these done prior to me getting to safety with those guys. First with those intro classes, I explain what we do in the shop and all that, and it would be nice to have these videos done before we end up having to take safety tests, so those kids can see them. And if it ended up not working in that timeline, I could always use these for the next year, and then that would be cool to see. Maybe if it's graduated seniors that graduated the year before and those freshmen watch them, that'd be something interesting for the kids to see. I'd encourage my students to revisit my safety videos that I've made. I think that would help them, encourage them to kind of get an idea of what we're doing, what my idea is, but I'd also guide them to make their own and not just copy mine, add their flair to it. High school boys and girls, they got a lot of character for the most, like every one of them's different, and I'd want them to make their twist on the video, whether it's a little comedic, a little extra, or more informative, more detailed, just something to change mine up. I know my stuff's not perfect, and I tell my kids that, so anything they can find to make it better and give them some other sources of information. There's lots of different woodworking and welding video and YouTubes that they could research, and how do they make their videos entertaining and keep people um, glued to them. So I'd encourage them to look up what successful, um, I, I guess, industrial influencers are doing to draw a crowd and keep them entertained. Some of the questioning, like I said, it's the shop. I've kind of got some things I have to be doing, so I would be in there anytime they're operating any of the machines, even if it's just for safety video. I'd be watching them do that. I'd probably stay away from like being over their shoulder or anything, because they are my upperclassmen and my veteran students, so I'd just be kind of in the back, making sure everything goes safe and smooth like usual, and if they needed something, they'd ask me, and I'd check in to see progress on the filming and how editing the videos are. This would be some of the newer stuff to these kids, is creating a video in my class, so if they needed help with, iMovie or whatever they decided to use. I'd also discuss what the students have accomplished and what still needs to be. So every morning we come in, we have a discussion for, 2 to 5 minutes about what everybody's job is, whether that's on their, once we're on projects or not, and then what still needs to be done. And they also write in there, they do a reflection every day in a journal about what they did that day. So they always have to say, oh, today we recorded the first 3 safety rules on the table saw, and we will do the next 8 tomorrow. Problem solving. So as with anything, my entire, curriculum that I teach is problem solving. I like to tell people I fix issues. I'm never fixing the same thing. I'm always problem solving, as my job as a shop teacher. Probably my biggest trait is problem solving, because no matter what, I could have kids build the same nightstand 100 times, and 99% of the time it's going to be different. You might get 2 out of 100 that go smooth and have 0 hiccups and everything's the same, but most of the time something new is going to arise, whether that's a different type of crack in lumber, or something different breaks on a machine. There's always problems. And so as far as with this project, you never know what's going to happen with machines while you're working, so it could be that. And then anytime you're using technology, just trying to make sure my kids can get through that. If they are having trouble with one program, maybe they need to try another, or do they need to research more about, they may know everything about the machine, but how to give that information in a good way to the other students and make it look good for a good finished project. And as far as the 4 main pieces of vocab I think we are using here would be prior knowledge. So these are my upperclassmen. They're pulling the knowledge they already know about the equipment and safety rules. They're analyzing how they're going to do it. And then problem solving and trial and error, I think, kind of go hand in hand. They're going to trial, and if they come up with an error, they're going to problem solve for that with this project. But yeah, that's my final assignment, and I hope you guys liked it. Thank you.